Perfect. Hi. All right. Welcome, everybody. And hello. Today is Sunday, Ask an Angel free Sunday call, where we tune in and get energetic updates. A lot happening on the planet, a lot of intense energy. For me, I am having visions for the first time in my life. And so I'm curious if anyone else is experiencing that, or their dreams are becoming more intense and more I don't know what word to use, intense, I guess, more real, coming like lucid dreaming and astral traveling. Do you feel like at night you're doing a full day's work and you're pretty exhausted? A lot of people are having a hard time sleeping. Seems to be par for the course and happening to all of us. So don't feel like, oh, it's just me. We're going through this big change, and I know we keep talking about that. And frankly, maybe we all get tired of talking about it, right? I have one of my sisters is like, when is it going to happen? She's been asking me that forever. um, we're in the process of it. I don't know that there's an end result, like a big boom moment, but it is ramping up. The energies are quite palpable. So, couple things, we're starting to really see, feel, and recognize the synchronicities and how everything is interconnected and woven. It all works together. It's all one big, beautiful tapestry that we are just in. And the more and more we wake up, we get to see the beauty and the perfection in it, even in the absolute chaos, destruction, sorrow, and pain. As difficult and horrific as that is, it is all unfolding on some level, right? As we are moving into these higher vibrations. So we can also ask about that today and get more insight and continue to hold the highest timeline possible, continue to send love and do any and everything that we can. Pam Gregory, I don't know how many of you follow her. She's not somebody that I tap into, but it was brought to my attention by several people yesterday. We did an event yesterday in person, locally, about an hour and a half from where I am. It was really sweet. And the Syrian elders came in, Mary Magdalene came in. We worked with the Dome of the Rock in Israel. We worked with the Blue Dome in Iran. We worked with peace in the Middle East, on a lot of different things. But a couple people mentioned that this Pam Gregory, who's an astrologer who I think is fairly well known, had a guest on her show on YouTube recently in the last couple days. And the date of yesterday, which was the 4th, was mentioned as a powerful gateway day, which doesn't surprise me that our event had been scheduled for months and happened to be that day. But that November was a time where there would be a lot of changes and a lot of energies coming in. And we certainly are already feeling that. And we're only at like November 5th. And it's going to continue to intensify as the weeks and perhaps even months or so go by. And so the most important thing is to stay grounded, centered in love, radiating love, and holding a higher vision. So I had pulled a few cards and I might want to take a look at them. But the other thing that was mentioned in this dialogue between Pam and I think her name was Nancy, I hope I have that right, was that she was talking to these 12 blue beings. And for those of you who work with me regularly, often, right, the beautiful 12 Syrians come in and we work with them. And they're these tall, luminous beings. I feel them often at night in my room. They're 2 to 3 to 4 feet taller than we are. They're incredibly loving and incredibly sweet, and they bring lots of gifts, and they're coming in much larger numbers right now to support us and assist us during this time. And similar information was coming through this woman as well. I also was recently woken up and guided to some different pyramids in Mexico and also in South America, both of which were mentioned, including one that I can't pronounce near Mexico City. And so all the same information's coming in everywhere, right? So we're just in this soup of understanding and wisdom and knowledge, and we're all starting to seeping in, whether it's coming in your dreams, or you're feeling it, you're channeling it, or you're having visions like I'm starting to have. Just hang in, right? And know that it's all a big part of the process, and these beautiful synchronicities, yes, that are happening all of us. So with that, I think I will bring in Raphael and we'll see what happens. I did pull some cards around what was happening in the world. I'm curious if you guys had, if there were any big questions that came in that you wanted to ask. Okay, I'm not seeing that much. Okay. Yeah, I would love to be on that podcast. Somebody is mentioning the Next Level Soul podcast, I think, but I'm not sure how they make that happen. Anyway, okay. I guess everybody knows by now that a small portion of the decks arrived, the Light Code Oracle decks, and that you can get them pre-ordered so that you'll have them before the holidays. They're going to like literally slide in from India right before the holidays, and we're going to be like little elves in our elf house getting them out to you. But they're here. We have a few. People got to see them yesterday. You see the beautiful box. It's super big and heavy. It's not like a normal box. You open it up and we got the white lion from the Lion Gate. Isn't it stunning? The Devishri painted, all her gorgeous art. And then the book is a whole big thing. It's not just like a little black and white book. It is like a book, like a real book with pictures and everything. There's Kali and all the stuff and the cards. So they're there. I'll do a special event with Debishri and we'll tell you all the magic and all the stories and all the places the cards have been and how they have been encrypted and energized, and they've gone to the Arctic Circle and they've gone to Mount Everest and they've been everywhere and they're ready for you to share light. So enjoy them. Please enjoy them, play with them, have fun with them, make them part of your daily sacred ritual, connect with the light codes, give them to your friends as loving gifts, and enjoy the richness of them, please. Okay, I think that's everything. And don't forget, Saturday, 11/11 at 11:11 a.m. is we're going to do a Diamond Heart Gateway Portal Light Body Activation upgrade thing. So make sure you guys get signed up. And it's a donation. It's $11 donation. If you don't have $11, don't worry about it. You could do $1. If you have $1 billion, then you can spend more. All right. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to bring in Raphael. Let's see what comes up. But yeah, check out that interview. It's interesting. On YouTube with Pam and that woman. Very sweet. It's very similar stuff happening. It's all the same, right? All right. If you have any questions, again, pop them in and Casey could ask. Oh, I just want to show you guys. Look at this from Atlantis. Is that amazing? I have it with me right now. Tuning in. And of course, my Syrian elder piece is just the one that really wants to hang out today. All right. I'm going to turn off the mic and tone. I'll be there in 2 seconds.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, we are very delighted to be here and to be invited, for the door was a bit shut and we were not sure Kelly was going to let us in today, for she was a bit tired, but we took care of that. And so we are very happy to be here. And as very usual, lately, I am here as Archangel Raphael to support all of you in this great process of awakening, but am assisted by many. And just as Kelly can open the door to her vessel and allowing us to come through and communicate and to love, love, love all of you, it is that you as a collective also are continuing to open up your hearts and your doorway, your energy in the receiving of us. And we are coming in greater numbers to your planet. And there is some worry sometimes that you have about the earth and about war and about destruction. And we want to assure you that although there is these bursts of energy and violence that are peaking at different places and may continue to, we are working diligently in the support of this process, but that we will not allow from the galactic perspective, the angelic perspective, for there are too many of us that are here now and are assisting, that are emanating light that is not a light that you can quantify or know or understand from your perspective, but we assure you that we will not allow the planet itself to be harmed to a point of no return. So take a nice deep breath in the relaxing around that worry, and know that many are here assisting during this time. We want you to know that not only am I here and the Syrian elders are present, they are multiplying, meaning that as they have come in and worked with many of you recently, giving you many gifts in your solar plexus for healing, many gifts within the different centers of the physical form as tetrahedrons or pyramids of light that are capable of having particular qualities and abilities of great healing and scanning and teaching and seeing that those qualities are speeding up. And that is often why, or Kelly was speaking today about these visions that she is receiving, because she is starting to open up to the receiving of the gifts that were given by the Syrian elders. And for many of you, these gifts may result in different ways through your dreaming or your way of speaking language or light or energy coming through. And this will continue to accelerate and expand as you will be able to turn on and activate, like the vibration from Atlantis, of these qualities that are inherently within you that have been dormant for so long. And so as this light penetrates the energetic fields and the codes that you have been working with, and codes that you are receiving in many different areas, not simply in the work we do together, that are turning on in your DNA and awakening these areas. You have felt it slowly happening, but now it is on an accelerated path, meaning it'll be moving very quickly, and especially for the children. The children are going to be like alarm clocks that turned on. And when they turn on, they will fully activate these gifts that they had during other ancient times and civilizations. And many of them who have arrived from the galactic realms and star systems have like a timer on them that, in a sense, gets activated by enough light flowing in from certain energetic fields that when it hits a particular place that happens to reside in the heart, a place that cannot be touched, that is very sacred, but enough light activates it, it turns on these gifts where they will have the capacity to see with their eyes closed, to navigate in different ways, and they will be very, very powerful in their ability to heal, to communicate, to transcend their physical form, to move objects, and more. And this phenomenon will start to grow rapidly. And as this energy rapidly expands in the children, it will then inherently seep into and activate the DNA of those that they came from. So if you gave birth to a child that is young, and these gifts start to turn on in them as their timer, in a sense, goes off. It will eventually turn on your DNA because, of course, the DNA is connected, and it will start to have a wave effect across the globe, like a wave of energy that will begin activating these things. And as this happens, your old operating system, which many of you think of or speak of or tune to as the matrix, although we are not so happy with that terminology, but understand why you call it that, will continue to crumble. It will go offline. And as it goes offline, there will be an adjustment period. And the adjustment period will be to form a culmination of energies that combine the vibrations of the indigenous ones deep within the resonance of their connection to the earth and the pulsation of the earth's emanating vibrations and heartbeat and the drums and the sounds and the hertz frequencies of the earth with the galactic realms of the beings like the Syrian elders and many more that are arriving and are present. And it is the merging of these two energies that appear from your perspective as separate, but yet are interwoven, that get turned on and activated. You as the center column, which is in many respects a bridge between these two worlds and energies, merging them where they activated as the energy rises from the earth up into your auric field or energetic light body, as the DNA begins to intertwine with that of the galactic races and energies that seeded them. And when that happens, the light becomes brighter and brighter. And as that occurs, which is occurring now, it shines light on places where deep healing in the ancestral lineages and in the DNA that are coded need to come back into balance. And there are particular genetic makeups that are very powerful and important and cultivate certain energies and vibrations that are very needed for the evolution of your species. And so these particular genetic codings are being reactivated, and there is some fear around allowing them to fully turn on, because in doing so, some of the old perhaps ways, the iron fist of a grip on certain energies cannot maintain its control. And so there is this outreach of a need to hang on as if clinging to a mountain, to the familiar. And yet one is falling off from that and is unable to cling on much longer. And so you are watching the throes of this last hurrah of energy that is attempting to distract from this beautiful light that is moving like a wave of love through the planet and awakening humanity. And so we invite and encourage you, as we always do, to hold a frequency of a high light outcome and to continue to cultivate your own talents and your own gifts, and to accept yourself as a God itself, as a divine spark of love that is merging with all things, and to honor and adore who it is that you are and all of those within your presence in the most sacred and honoring way that you are able, and knowing that in that alone, with this compassion that reigns from your heart, continues to amplify our work that we are doing with you in the assistance of this great change. And so, with that, hello.
Hello. So, Raphael, as this light comes and enters the planet at such a rapid rate, I think that there are a lot of people who might feel overwhelmed, frustrated. They might be feeling low time to time, and that might cause them to worry if they're holding a high enough vibration to achieve the highest timeline. And it's hard for them to control these emotions and these thoughts. So, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, it is important to allow them to explode. It is an explosive energy that should not and cannot be contained, because what is happening is that as this light is hitting and penetrating certain denser formations within the belief system and in the old paradigm and way of being, as the light comes in, it shines upon often what one doesn't want to feel or is uncomfortable, and agitation, aggravation, and energies that are thought of as not of an enlightened state or not of a high frequency of anger and impulsiveness, or addiction, or a sense of quickness to raise one's temper may arise. And we want you to let the cap off of that. It is like a steam that needs to be released into the atmosphere. We do not want you to keep putting it down or pushing it down or ignoring it or thinking it is bad or that you should not feel it or that it should be put away someplace, that you should just bypass it into a spiritual way of being. It has to be released. It is like a pressure cooker. And that is why you are seeing so much violence in so many places, because there is no safety or place for the release of this pressured energy that has built up. And as it receives this light, it sometimes feels explosive. So we want you to allow yourself to explode, or to feel angry or to cry or to yell or to express your frustration, or to let it out in the forest by screaming, or wherever you need to release it. Because in the releasing of it, it's moving so rapidly that it's dissolving it much faster, meaning the need to go into why it is there, the story about it, all of that becomes lessened. Of course, it can be symbolic and helpful and metaphoric in your understanding of it, and perhaps it is where you are allowed to take the cap off for the release, but the release is needed. And after the release happens, you then can feel more at ease, and you can be more receptive to the receiving of the bombardment of the light. And then it will find another dense area. It will keep going into your system and locating these pressure points. And as it hits it, you might feel another nudge, another need for this explosive energy. So we are not, of course, condoning yelling at people or going off the handle, but it's very important not to suppress, or push down or deny or override your feelings at this time, because you are on an accelerated path to expanding your light body and evolving as a species. If you look at the evolution of you as an energy and a consciousness, you are right at a critical juncture of a cycle that is coming to completion, but it is birthing in something new that is expanding into the star systems and amplifying you into a whole new way. And so you are at a moment of whether you may choose to contract and return and resist and move into fear and guard and create shields and hide and move down in, or you can expand and open and feel and cry and allow and all of that, so that the light can bombard your system. And this is the support that is needed for the activating within the DNA.
Thank you, Raphael. And so I just want to clarify and talk a little bit more about how, in one instance, the advice, of course, is to hold a high vibration. And then the next instance is to express like anger and frustration. And while a lot of us do understand how those are the same, some of us might feel conflicted internally of like, well, if I'm angry, is that a high vibration or not? If I'm
Yeah.
sad, is that a high vibration or not? And can you explain what it means to be in a high vibration while expressing these denser emotions?
Yes, well, if you are suppressing an emotion and you are being what you call in your language inauthentic, and so you appear falsely to be in a high vibration because you are smiling like this and everything is okay, but it really is not. That is actually a lower vibration than anger. And so you think of anger as a very low vibration, but it is authentic in the emotional body. And it must be expressed in order to allow it to move through, because it is just energy that passes through, that attaches itself to particular stories and belief systems that are very deeply embedded in your culture and in your energetic body, not only from birth, but other lifetimes. But all of that is being cleared. It is the spotlight is coming on it. And so, one of the greatest things that you can do right now for your own spiritual growth and the evolution of the earth and one another is to allow yourself to feel what it is that you are feeling. And in doing so, it will not take so much energy. When you think of being very angry or explosive, you think of it as having a lot of energy. It is an energy that is unbound and becomes free. But that freedom of that energy opens up spaciousness for the light to move in, and the transmutation occurs, and the elevation in frequency takes place. But when it is locked down and shut, it densifies and it becomes more and more dense, and it becomes heavy and a weight that is carried not only within you on a personal level, if you are holding this, but of course for the planet as heaviness. And so those densified energies are of a lower frequency if they are suppressed, but appear to be masked in a sweetness that is unauthentic, or a kindness that is unauthentic, or a masked version of self. And so every mask is coming off, whether it be in your politics, or whether it be in your medicine, or whether it be in your financial institutions, or your school systems, or personally. The masks are being ripped off. You are being forced to see what sometimes is ugly, what sometimes is scary, what sometimes is angry, what sometimes is violent and difficult. But that is where the healing occurs, because otherwise it is simply brewing and festering beneath the surface. And that, although is may seem healthier because you cannot see it, is much more destructive destructive. It is like looking at something that appears to be clean and beautiful, but when you open the closet, everything was hidden inside. And now all the closets are open and everything is spewed all over the place, and it seems messier, but it is actually more true to what it really is. And then in the trueness, you can assess what is really happening and you can begin to clean it up, and healing occurs, and it then is authentically in a state of balance.
So the key in holding a high vibration then is to be authentic.
Yes, truly and completely and absolutely authentic to who you are in all and every way.
Mm. And
That is not something that is easy, because there are many rules that you have created and many ways of customs and culture and ideas that one must follow to be accepted. And so when the masks come off everywhere, it is very disorienting on a global perspective and on a personal perspective and on a family perspective, because this is unfamiliar territory, but actually quite healing.
Thank you. And so I think then in this journey of going to authenticity, I think that a lot of people in life struggle, they push themselves too far because on some level they feel like maybe they're not doing enough, that they're not kind enough, that they're not spiritual enough, that they're not whatever enough, right? And
Yeah.
and this energy drives them, and they know that they are enough intellectually, but this fear drives them, and on some level they struggle to let go of this fear because they believe on some level that if they did, that they would do nothing, be nothing, and wouldn't be motivated to do anything, to be kind. And so how do we get our fear to trust us so that it can let go and we can have this inspiration come from within to be motivated to do things from a place of beauty rather than a place of fear?
Well, you have to give it a try. You have to see what happens if you let go of control. But it's very difficult from the human perspective to let go of this control mechanism, because it's what in your mind keeps you safe, but what has created so much havoc, because you're not actually in control. But the more that you think that you are, and the more that you try to be in control rather than to allow the energy itself to align with it, to move with it, to flow through you, rather than trying to push it in certain directions, then you keep coming up against all these roadblocks and you become very frustrated. So it is when we work with the codes, like we've been working with the vibrational code in Merlin, we begin to teach you these things, which we cannot fully embody in this few minutes now, but you begin to work with the lines of synchronicity. You begin to notice the signs, the symbols, the maps, the systems that start to come into alignment, so that you are moving with the flow and the unfolding of a magical experience that is then revealing itself to you, rather than you deciding where and how to go. And so it is a shift in perspective, a shift in the way in which you perceive and think, and it is difficult. We understand, because you have been so programmed to operate in a certain way for so long. But this new way of being is rippling through the entire planet. And as it does this, this is part of the process of your evolution. When you let go and realize that everything that you're trying to control to keep yourself safe, to have or to do, is already there. It's already there because it's always been there. And it is your birthright to be connected to it, because it is you. It is only you that have decided that it is not taking care of you, or that you have to have separated from it, or you have to control or fix it. But when you surrender to it, you recognize you don't even need to surrender to it, because it is you and it is already there and it already has been. But you have somehow decided that you wanted, through free will, to play this game, that you somehow were in in control, which is quite funny. And so now that you're beginning to realize that, and you let go, the more you let go, the more the energy flows, and more the things that you think you're trying to get or achieve or have are already just simply right there unfolding for you, because how could they not be? Because they've already always been there all along.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us understand that. And then some of us are still in the thing of like, well, if I'm not experiencing it, right? If I'm not experiencing it, everything that I'm looking to experience, all of the love, all of the joy, all of the abundance, all of the thing, how could I possibly be enough in this moment, right?
Yes, but that is part of what you are experiencing, because you are experiencing all of it. And that is why when you work with the goddess Kali, she says, I love all of you, not just the part of you that is abundant or healthy or successful and every all moments, but all of you. And it is in your willingness to receive Kali's love, to feel and embody and enjoy all of you, that which you think you are seeking is there, because it has always been there, but it is the denial of the loving of where it is that you are that keeps you resided in this turmoil or suffering that you speak of as pain of not being enough.
Right. And so it's only when we love all aspects of ourself that we are enough, because we are whole. And the feeling of not feeling like we are enough stems from the fact that we're not loving the totality of who we are.
Yes, because you are one with all of it, but you have chosen to separate yourself from it, to allow the mind to be your guiding force, to be the driver, the operating system. But that system is collapsing, and you are moving into a more heart-centered way of being. And from that perspective, the merging of the two energies, you realize they were never separated to begin with. They are all the same. There is nothing to accomplish, really. Doesn't mean that you don't do, that you don't act, that you don't play, that you don't enjoy, that you don't create. You do all of that, but from the perspective and the movement that it is moving through and with you, rather than you are moving it. And then you become aligned with the flow of it, and that joyfulness that you are all searching for is already there, because you are moving and embedded and a part of it. You have not separated from it, nor are seeking to find or to get it, because it already is you.
Mm. And why is it that we want to hold on to the fact that we're moving it, like I am moving this forward, rather than it moving with us? Why do we have such a desire to hold on to that I?
Because you are deeply programmed in the I, because as you stay in the I, you are in separation. And then you begin to create forms of hierarchy and division, and the ego becomes the guiding force. And that is the densified form that the planet in the current operating system is functioning in. But it's dissolving, and you're merging back into the remembering of what was. And so you're holding on to the familiar. And that is why everything that you knew to be true or familiar that you could count on in every way is slowly dissolving in front of you collectively, until you let go and realize that none of those things are what keeps you safe. And it is in that the need for it will no longer be.
Thank you, Raphael. And so we have some questions here about symptoms like dizziness and losing hair. And people are wondering if these are ascension symptoms.
Oh, Well, we don't want to get into medical discussions because each symptom it resides in different ways. But yes, of course, dizziness is a symptom because you are spinning more rapidly through the spirals of light, and you are moving through the photon belt, and the energies are accelerating. And of course, this can be disorienting with the inner ear, etc. The losing of your hair can be many different things, but you will have to attune and discern, but it doesn't matter what you label it as. It's all part of whatever is taking place within you to guide you, to support you in the evolution of your being. And when you make friends with it and you love it and you accept it for its reason for presenting itself, then most often it no longer needs to keep nudging at you. But Mary Magdalene is also here today. And the energy has come in because we did a process the other day of healing. Perhaps we can do that, or perhaps not. Hmm.
Let's do it.
Oh, you are very funny. Oh, all right. We will do this fairly quickly today. Because the Syrian elders are here, and Kali is coming in very strongly today, unexpectedly, in the severing of the heads, inviting you to allow yourselves to express whatever you are needing to express, to cry, to scream, to yell, to feel a steep sense of injustice for what is happening on the planet to so many. And it is all right to allow the warrior protective sense of self to come out. Archangel Michael is here, very deeply encouraging you to walk your properties and to place a dome of light around them as he will come in with his large and expansive wings of love that are silver and shimmering, also with gold today, as he hovers over your dwellings in protecting you. And we would like to have an entire discussion about that because there is a request from many of the beings, including myself, for all of you to begin to create nodules of light and grids where you live, to create a new grid on the planet and to map that out. And many energies are emphatically asking for this, and there's going to be a lot of landings, appearances of galactic beings that will start to come in. So as you're having your visions and your dreams, you may be dreaming more of them, and they will be arriving. They may even come into your media or mainstream news, perhaps, but if not, they will be seeping in other ways, and you'll be becoming more connected and attuned to them. There is also some fault lines that are um, have a lot of tension, and we would like to diffuse that energy as well. There's so much happening and so many people clamoring for my attention to come in and talk to you today. It is quite a lot with so many different things for you to all work together on and to do. As you move through the 1111 gateway, this will be another enormous acceleration point, including many other points and time nodules on the ascension timeline in this month and in the coming months. And so just keep activating and opening. All right, we'll take a break from all of this because they all have so much to say and would like me to say it through this vessel. Is there anything in particular you want to ask any of them before we drop into something else?
No.
All right. Taking in a nice deep breath, coming into the presence of the here and now, aware of awareness itself, coming into your body and bringing all of the energy in, coming into and moving it down. Now, all of you are masters and beings of light with the capacity to attune to our energies. When I speak of our energies, I speak of myself, of course, as Archangel Raphael. I am a spiral of golden light, and I wrap myself around you, along with my wings of love, as I kiss you so gently upon your forehead and bow as I'm placing my hand upon your heart, soothing all of your energy and soothing out the raggedy edges that may feel a bit frayed or have some holes in them through your human experience, sealing that energy up and bringing you back into a wholeness within your whole field. With that, the Syrian elders are here. There are normally 12 of them, but there are 12, 24, 36, 48. Oh my. Yes, there are many coming in. We are moving up to 72. Oh, we are adding in up to 144 today. We like this number. It's a beautiful vibrational sequence of numbers. The Fibonacci code is moving out and spiraling around and holding all of you. Tuning in and feeling the Syrian elders and their presence now. Each of you has one in particular that has been working more and more presently with you, beginning to feel their energy and their vibration as they are standing in front of you now. They are tall, luminous, light blue being of light, and they are there and present with you. There are so many of them now coming to Earth. They're coming in ships and in other forms and appearing in many places as you are moving into these much higher timelines. They are so beautiful and they love you. Begin to sense and feel their energy. One in particular is coming closer and closer to you, placing their hand on your heart. Their hand is not like your hand, it is different, but it is still energetically a hand. They are sending light that is moving through your body. Feel the hand on your heart and allow this plasmic crystalline light to move through your whole body. As it does so, it's coming into the double helix and beginning to turn on the DNA to the 12th strand and beyond. This energy is moving and activating and spinning through you as they are opening up the torus field and activating that around the body, allowing the toric field to open and expand. As you know, you're sitting in a field of light, and this field of light today is like a beautiful meadow. You are in a meadow, and in front of you is a fantastically tall, beautiful mountain like the Alps, but it is not the Alps, and it has snow at the peak, but yet at the base there are crystal lakes that are glistening as the sun hits them, and the blooming of wildflowers are all around. There is water flowing down from the peak, and it is feeding into this lake. And this lake is being integrated into and connected with the Syrian elders' vibration. They are standing around the lake, and they have asked and invited you to be there with them. As they stand around the lake, they are slowly walking into the lake. They are tall and luminous, and as they go in, the energy and the vibration of their frequency is going into the water. This water is changing its structure. and its structure is activated in the most beautiful crystalline form that you have ever seen. And the entire lake is filled with this crystalline plasmic energy, and they have activated this water. Now take in a nice deep breath and begin to allow yourself to walk into the water as if you were walking into a beautiful lake to go for a nice swim. Your head is above the water and you are gently just swimming through the water. And as you do so, you feel this energy moving through your whole body. You feel as though something inside of you is turning on, and they're activating these beautiful memories that are reminding you of the stars and the galactic realms and other dimensions and places where you never touch the ground and you just glide and float by in your luminous body that morphs into orbs and colors of light. And now, if you feel ready, you can either bring your head under the water or dive into it and allow your whole structure in your brain to begin to be filled with this cosmic, beautiful, liquid energy that is moving through your thinking mind. And as it moves through the thinking mind, it begins to dismantle the thinking mind, and it is dismantling now the programming of the collective. It is just simply turning it off. And these crevices and little areas that have been closed off from this plasmic liquid light is moving into your whole head. And of course, it is filling up the center in between the two hemispheres and activating and awakening the pineal gland even further. As this is happening now, just allow yourself to go under the water deeper and deeper. And as you are going under, you see a beautiful dolphin appear. This dolphin is tender and his eyes are so sweet with a beautiful smile on the face. And now two more dolphins appear, and there are three of them, and they would like to take you somewhere. And you connect to one in particular, and you get on their back, and they begin to move, but they are not swimming straight, but they are spinning as they swim, and you are spinning with them through this water. And as you spin, it is spinning and turning on and activating more strands in the DNA. As you are moving with the dolphins through this liquid light, you begin to sense the sensation of a space inside this energy of water that is beneath this beautiful mountain, where the snow is also informed and infused with this energy, and it is opening up a space, and the dolphins leave you off here, and you are standing at the edge of a portal. Behind you are all the dolphins and many whales that have come in, and they have encoded now inside the water these codes that are starting to form ice and glaciers, and they are embedding this crystalline structure here for safekeeping for another time. As you stand at the edge of this door, you open up and you find that you are moving into a big, open, cavernous space that is inside the mountain beneath where you were. And as you move in, other energies are coming. The Syrian elders are there floating around, and they are guiding you to a place where Mary Magdalene is. She has been waiting for you to come today and has invited others, along with Yeshua, recently to receive blessings from this particular water that is very holy and sacred, that reminds and turns you on to the remembering of your own divinity and can heal anything at any time within the body, as it is an elixir of sort. You are tuning to Mary Magdalene's energy as you sense a beautiful glowing pink light that is a bit darker than pink and more like the color magenta or a hot pink of sorts with some rose and deeper burgundy swirling through it. This is a vortex of energy where her vibration is often held here, as it is held in many sacred sites and places around the globe, where the energy moves in the awakening of the divine feminine that is taking place as women's hearts and hands come together for peace around the planet, as all the mothers and daughters and sisters rise in awakening the divine feminine that has been suppressed, as it merges with the beautiful love of the divine masculine to birth new worlds. An opening of this space happens, and she invites you into this golden room that is filled with gold leaf and symbols that come from ancient times and systems and sacred sites around the globe that are everywhere, emanating and glowing as if they themselves are alive. Inside the chamber of this beautiful domed golden energy that is radiating and glowing this magenta light stands Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene now is here before you. You may begin to sense the smell of rose or myrrh or frankincense. Many objects that are attuned to her vibration through teachings and stories and mythologies are present, as the beautiful energies and sense of her lore and love are there. Seeing and feeling the sensation of her beauty and her long black glowing hair and deep brown eyes, as her skin is so tender and soft and sweet. She is wearing a robe today in the color of magenta with golden thread, and she is standing in the center of this room to welcome you. Next to her is Yeshua, for an energy that you are familiar with, who has come today in a more quiet and sensitive way to take the back stage to Mary Magdalene, but to support her, for he is such a magnificent and great healer, and here for the healing of you by using the energy and vibration that has come from the stars, landed inside the waters of this crystalline energy as the vortex is swirling around you. Upon this energy is an altar, and on the altar is an object. This object in tradition and in storytelling is thought of as the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is more than an object of healing. It is everything, and everything is you. It is the unified of all energy and oneness that frees you back to the return of your divinity. But today it will be utilized as an energy and support for healing of sorts, an elixir of kind that you shall drink as it moves through your body, awakening the energies and healing the ancestral lineage behind and before you as you open up spaciousness to a higher dimension. Standing before you is Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. Feel and sense the sensation of their energy and their love. See if you can feel Mary Magdalene. She is standing at your left side. Tune into her bare feet, on the glowing pink floor that is made and glowing of this pink energy that is washing over the white marble beneath, attuning to that of the sandstone and the limestone energy that is holding many codes in the temple itself, connecting with her, sense her energy, and know that in this moment she is holding something. You might appear or feel that it would be magnificent, like a beautiful cup that is made with jewels and made out of gold and glistening in its magnificence, but is actually quite humble. It is a wooden bowl. This bowl is a bit broken and some pieces have fallen from it, but it is very sacred and she holds it very dearly. Just sense her and sense the vibration of her energy on your left as she holds the ball. Now tuning to Yeshua, or you may speak or talk to him as Jesus is present. Attuned to his vibration and his connection to many religions and his attunement to the Holy Land, for he comes of the Hebrew traditions and that is attuned to the Jews and yet is also connected to the many religions through time, including Christianity. He is connected with the Arab world and the Persians and the vibrations attuning to many genetic lines and bloodlines that pass through the swirling of humanity as he unifies them to the Christ consciousness of one energy. He is holding many different cloths. These cloths are here today as he weaves together the genetic codes from all different religions, sects of information, and races, not only of those in the indigenous cultures of the human collective race and tribes of today, but also that of many races in the galactic realm, unifying them as he purifies them, as the energy moves through his sacred heart and he hands and holds within a great book that many might call the Torah, or that of the Holy Bible, or that of the Quran, or more. These different holy books are stacking up one upon another from religion to religion after another and another, as equifying and unifying that as he is bringing them into a unified field through the consciousness of the Christ consciousness, moving through the sacred heart of his flame. In doing so, there is a great purification happens, and the words that are embodied and embedded as the symbols and scriptures of these great teachings that merge many of the religions that he is counting that are endless throughout the scriptures and the teachings of so many Sanskrits are united into one form. In doing so, at this now moment, this energy is becoming and moving into a cloth of sorts that is embedded with all of the beauty of this unified energy that is extraordinarily powerful. With that, you feeling his energy to your right and the energy of Mary Magdalene to your left, attuning to their vibration and energy. There is a spout now that is opening like a waterfall that is flowing down the walls of the golden leaf inside the temple that is coming from high up in the mountains. And it is filling itself as if it is rushing into a bowl beneath. This bowl is made of alabaster, but is in the form and the symbol of the cauldron. It is holding within creation itself the elixir of this plasmic light that is moving through this energy that is coming up now and merging, surging in from the door that is open as the water flows through from where the dolphins left you behind, and the elixir of the energy from that of the higher beings of the galactic realms are merging, and all of this energy is running now in the color of the magenta color of the temple of Mary Magdalene, and it is running in the color that appears similar to that of the Christ bloodline, for it is the magenta color that is forming the blood itself, and it is filling the bowl as it turns into the great wine and the holy waters merging as one. These energies now are over there in one energy as Mary Magdalene is going over and filling her vessel with it. She is placing now the vessel of the Holy Grail upon the altar, and she is going over to the cauldron of this particular elixir of plasmic light that is merging the energies from deep beneath the earth and high into the galactic realms of the celestial beings of all bloodlines and all religions, unifying them through the Christ heart of one consciousness of love. As this occurs, this energy now is being lifted, and it begins to be washed as Mary Magdalene begins to allow the water to flow over the Holy Grail vessel of the wooden bowl. In doing so now, Yeshua dips the cloth in this water, and as he lifts it, he and her come together, holding hands, merging the energies in one field of the divine masculine and feminine energy as they stand before you. Taking in a nice deep breath, it begins to merge now into one cup that is holding this energy that Mary Magdalene holds in her hand, and it is also embedded within the cloth that Yeshua is holding. You may now approach them both. We encourage you to move into a sacred position, whatever that may be for you. Perhaps it is bringing your hands to your heart. Perhaps it is falling to your knees. Perhaps it is just being fully present in the moment. As you open and expand your heart, Mary Magdalene brings over this vessel to you, and as she does so, you take in a sip, bringing the vessel to your mouth. Begin to slowly drink from this vessel and feel the energy moving through your body as it begins to activate more healing and turning on more light. This is an accelerated and quickening process that is happening and will continue to happen in the coming months. Now, begin to tune into your body and become conscious and aware of where you would like this sacred prayer cloth to be placed on your body for healing. And as you attune to wherever that place is, you may guide Yeshua, for he, of course, will intuitively know as he will place this on your body. Allow yourself to be in receiving of this cloth filled with this beautiful healing energy. As you are in receiving of this now, move everything in your body into gratitude. Feeling such reverence and gratitude for these blessings. Feeling this energy. Just begin now to surrender. You can let go now completely. Just let go and allow this holy water filled with this electric energy to flow. It is flowing in from the mountains and from the lake beneath. It is flowing in from all directions and washing over you. And as it washes over you, you feel renewed and refreshed and healed and whole. You remember that you are a being of light. You remember the stars and your star sisters and brothers. You remember the indigenous ones and the lifetimes you walked on the land. You remember all of it. It all comes flooding in, and you remember that you are divine, that there is nothing to worry about or to fight against or to figure out or to do, but to begin to merge with this holy water, this elixir of life, to allow yourself to flow with it, to merge back into the divine, which is who you always have been and who you are. You are divine. You are worthy. You are lovable. You are all of that and more. And you always have been, and you always shall be. Taking in a nice deep breath, breathing in all of that energy. Archangel Michael comes in now to contain that energy around you as his wings come around wide, and you are held for protected energy contained in this very high vibrational frequency of what may appear to be water, but is more than that. Mary Magdalene slowly begins to dissolve and disappear, as does Yeshua, as do the Syrian elders, as do the many beings of light that have come to assist, allowing you now to be your own divine master of light, holding this frequency as it is contained in you, through you, around you, and by you. And so it is. With that, you can slowly come back into the presence of the here and now. One card has appeared as I'm sitting here from the Master Ascension Light Code Oracle deck, and it is the New Earth. We are building the new earth, or the new earth is perhaps revealing itself to us. This is Metatron and Metatron's cube. We'll be working with Metatron on Saturday as we go through the 1111 gateway at 11:11 a.m. All right. That was a long call. I almost didn't do the call today because I was so tired, but instead I did an hour and 15. So I guess it's all divinely perfect. Thank you for attending these free Sunday calls, for being here in our community and continuing to bring more and more light to the planet. Continue to hold a high vibration. Remember, you're worthy and lovable. I'll see you on Saturday. And if you want to play with the light codes, you can come in now. And I love you all. Many blessings, and thank you for everything. Bye, everybody.
Love you too, Kelly.
Thank you.